Hello and welcome to your skills training video. In this video, we will be speaking about conducting a behavioral analysis. We will call this as a chain analysis. So to understand a little bit of this term, it will help to know that behavior can be understood as a series of links, and these links are chained together because they tend to follow one after the other. So this is essentially like a chain where there are multiple links which are seen to be forming it. And a lot of times when there are emotional circumstances, things tend to be appearing all at once. But this is because the behaviors that people form in this situation are very well rehearsed and they may follow one after the other. One of the reasons why it appears is that because our behaviors cannot be broken down into chains. So, in a chain analysis, we essentially provide a series of questions like what happened and what happened before that and what happened next. And these questions are seen to help us unlock these links that are usually stuck together. So the purpose of this chain analysis is essentially to figure out what is the problem, what prompted the problem, what is the function of this problem, what is interfering with its resolution, and what is available with us to help us solve this problem. Now this brings us to the next question, which is why do we even need to conduct these chain analysis? So this can be used as a tool for addressing a behavior which we want to change. Now this provides us with essential information for understanding the events that have led up to a particular problem, for example. And many a times why we tend to fail at solving these problems is solely because we fail to fully understand and assess the problem at hand. So here is where the chain analysis tends to come in handy. By conducting a repeated chain analysis, we can understand what are the patterns that underlie our behavior and our responses. This helps us in figuring out what are the links and essentially the first step in finding a solution to a problem behavior at hand. And when any of the links of the chain can be broken, our problem behaviors also can be stopped. So now you can pause your videos for a bit and open your chain analysis handouts and go through them at least briefly. Once you're done with that, before coming back to the video, I would ask you to open up your chain analysis worksheets and then we can try and understand this skill with the help of an example. So now that you're back with your worksheets and you have also read your handouts, you know a little bit about the steps that we are going to talk about. And in the worksheet, now let's go through these steps one by one. So step 1 is nothing but to describe the problem behavior. You are supposed to describe this behavior in excruciating detail and as clearly as you can. So for example, here the problem behavior is yelling at my partner and storming out of the room while slamming the door in his face. So then this takes us to step 2, which is describing the prompting event that started the chain of events which led to the problem behavior. So for example, when I came home from work, my boyfriend was lying down on the couch and this was the beginning of the chain of events. The fact that when I came back home, my boyfriend was lying down on the couch and he was asleep was the event that set off the chain of events which led me to eventually yell at him and slam the door in his face. So this takes us to step 3, wherein we are supposed to describe the factors that are happening before the event that made us vulnerable to starting down the chain of events towards this problem behavior. So in this example, I can say that in the previous night, my boyfriend had come in really late and he was tired, but I wanted to go out as we hadn't gone out in a long time. So we came up to a conclusion and I agreed with him that it's okay if today he's sick and he cannot make it to go out, but he had to promise to me that tomorrow when I came back from work, he's supposed to go out with me. And when I came home today, I found him to be sleeping on the couch. So this takes us to step 4, wherein we describe in excruciating detail the chain of events that has led to the problem behavior, wherein that specific behavior and events that were the link to the chain first. So, when I saw him asleep, I thought that he's sleeping again and now we don't get to go out. The second link was that it made me feel bad and it made me feel that he does not care about me. And the next link was that I thought that he does not love me. And that took me to the fourth link wherein I got furious right away. So, step 5 was I wanted to hurt him back because he had hurt me. So here we can see that we have identified 5 different links in the behavior. This takes us to the next step wherein we describe the consequences of this behavior, and we are supposed to be specific when we do that. So there are different areas where these consequences can be felt. So one is in the environment wherein he was hurt. He was hurt that I assumed that he did not love me, and the consequence for me was that I felt guilty and I realized that I had ruined the evening for the both of us today. And that takes us to the next step wherein we describe in detail at each point where we could have used the skillful behavior that could have taken us away from engaging in a problem behavior. So now, what were the key links that were most important in leading to this problem behavior? So in other words, if we would have eliminated these behaviors, then the problem behavior would not have happened. So for example, in this situation, it would have helped me if I would have checked the facts next time. Because after having this argument, my partner told me that he had taken a nap only because he was tired and so that he could be fresh by the time I came back for us to be able to go out and have a good time. So once I found out that this is the reason why he had taken a nap, it may not have set off all the other links wherein I felt that he did not care about me or he did not love me. So these links could have been avoided. This brings us to the next step, which is the 8th step, which is plans to repair, to correct and overcorrect the harm that has happened because of your problem behavior. So now I will make every effort to treat my partner as if he constantly loves me. I will also apologize to him and make up for our evening out, and I will plan an evening out together for the both of us, which we may mutually like. Apart from just the things that we have discussed, there can be many other ideas for all or some of the questions that we went through even in this example. So essentially all of these links and all of these chains and the way you decide to go about it can be customized to each of our life experiences and even our choices.